Hello, viewers. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Deepak Garg. I'm the founder and CEO of AnywhereJobs. AnywhereJobs is India's one of the best recruitment firms for jobs into Europe. Today, I'm privileged and honored to have a special guest here with me, uh, Mr. Ved Mani Tiwari. He's the CEO of NSDC and MD of NSDC International. NSDC, as many of you may know, is India's largest skilling organization built with public and private partnership. Uh, Ms. Veji is a dynamic leader who's been in this space for the last few years. And it's a privilege to have him here to talk about opportunities for Indian youth, particularly those who are looking at opportunities outside of India. And this segment is specially focused on shortages of truck driving skills in globally and what can Indian youth do to make use of this opportunity. Thank you, Veji, for being on the show today.
Thank you so much, Deepak, for having me in here. I really feel that this is the opportunity for India and youth of India. And very excited to be on this conversation with you because entrepreneurs like you are doing a very good job. And we are all excited that together we can create truly powerful opportunities for our youth.
Thank you. And we have been discussing this topic for the last 1 year, closely. We have discussed many aspects of it. Just for our audience, they want to know how large is the opportunity, कितनी बड़ी opportunity है, कितना बड़ा gap है, कितने लोग चाहिए, जो आपको young audience सुन रही है, right? जो job ढूंढ रही है, जो skill करना चाहती है, they want to know क्या है, what's in it for them.
So we keep on hearing that India is a very young country. Just for your information, 2/3 of our population, 2/3 लोग इस देश के are below 35 years age, 35 साल से कम के. Our median age is 28 years. China's median age is 38 years. Germany is 48 years. Japan is 49 years. It's a country of young people. At NSDC, we did some simulation. In next 20 to 23 years, coinciding with 2047, which our Honorable Prime Minister says is the Amrit Kal for India. It's truly an Amrit Kal. There will be 100 crore new people added to the workforce all over the world. And every fourth such person is going to be an Indian. Imagine the youth of India on one hand has an opportunity to grow with the growth of Indian economy, and we will be the third or second largest economy in the world by that time. But we will have an opportunity to 1/4 of the global economy. And that's the truly powerful opportunity that is emerging.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing. And also, I think because the world is aging, right? India is the youngest country, as you're saying.
Yeah.
The youngest in the world, and the world is aging. So it's a very, जो कहते हैं कि एक ऐसा माहौल बन गया है, ऐसा अपॉर्चुनिटी आ गया है जो शायद सेंचुरीज में कई बार आता है एक देश के सामने, that there's an opportunity for India, which is the youngest country, to supply skills and talent to the world, right? तो अगर हम यूरोप की बात करें और ट्रक ड्राइवर्स स्पेसिफिकली बात करें, व्हाट हैव यू सीन कि यूरोप में कितना शॉर्टेज है, ट्रक ड्राइवर्स कितने?
यूरोप में अगर if you talk only about truck drivers, some studies say that it's a shortage of about 400,000 truck drivers in Europe alone. And there are every indication that post Russia-Ukraine war stoppage, this will increase manifold. And why Europe? If we see it at the global scale, 2.6 million driver shortage exists all over the world. And that is where I think we have to think about this as a career choice for our youth. And my take is that the way the supply chains are being rejigged, the way the global economy is globalizing and deglobalizing simultaneously, the requirement of truck operators and the passenger vehicle operators is going to increase tremendously all over the world.
One of the things we saw when I founded Rivigo was that young people did not want to be truck drivers, right? इंडिया में ट्रक ड्राइवर्स को बोला जाता है ये तो 37वीं कॉम है. I don't want to be a truck driver because I will stay away from my family. I will not have enough income, right? And उसकी गांव में शादी नहीं होती थी because he was not earning well and plus he was traveling always out, right? And this wage problem persisted. 2014 maybe, Indian driver used to earn 24,000 rupees a month. Even now with because so many people are coming into the job age, कि वो आज भी probably 30,000 hai, 25-30,000 hai, right? But when Indians are going into Europe, when I have been seeing in the last 1 year, I see both these equations changing, right? जैसा उनको social respect बहुत मिलती है वहाँ पे, they get a lot of social respect when they go there. Plus, of course, wages increase. What's your take on that, right? For Indian youth who's listening, right? Why should they be motivated to leave their home country and look at opportunities outside of India?
You are very right on this. होता क्या है कि our social context places premium on certain kinds of jobs. But my personal experience I want to share with you. Recently, I was in US with my son. He's a software engineer there. One day we had to call a plumber because of some issue at his home in his bathroom. And when we tried looking for a plumber at around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. in the night, I was amazed that a plumber will cost anywhere between $200 to $250 an hour.
Oh, wow.
I asked my son, what is your hourly wages? And he works for one of the top-notch IT companies in Silicon Valley.
Right.
And you'll be amazed to know that a good software engineer in Silicon Valley may be comparable or below what a plumber can earn. So somewhere the society thinks that the only way to grow in life is that if you become doctor or engineer. I'm not saying that
has
one
to
should not
change.
aspire.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that skill-based professions have tremendous opportunity and must be looked at as a viable career option for every youth. मेरा इस देश के नौजवानों से रिक्वेस्ट है कि अपने दायरे को बढ़ाएं और स्किल्स के ऊपर एक अपनी नई जिंदगी बनाने की कोशिश करें. आपके बहुत सारे रास्ते वहां से खुलते हैं. और सोशल रिस्पेक्ट की जो आप बात कर रहे हैं, एक सिंपल एग्जांपल मैं देता हूं कि वी वर्क विद मैनी हेल्थ केयर प्रोवाइडर्स इन यूरोप. हमारे यहाँ डॉक्टर्स आर वेरी रिस्पेक्टेड, बट आई वाज रियली इम्प्रेस्ड व्हेन आई फाउंड दैट इन जर्मनी nurses have got far more respect than the doctor, because doctors just in time concept है, expensive है,
right.
तो patient care truly जो है वो nurse के पास है. Nurses are hugely respected professionals in countries like Germany or Australia, and this is what is more important.
I've had a very similar experience, Vedji. Over the last year traveling into Europe, I realized the welders there in Europe on 3,000 euros per month. हमारे यहाँ पे वेल्डर्स 30,000 रुपीज कमाते हैं और वहाँ पे सिर्फ कमाई का डिफरेंस नहीं है, एक रिस्पेक्ट का बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंस है. वहाँ पे एक HR मैनेजर विल अर्न less than 2,000 euros, let's say, but a hard job like welders or truck drivers people will earn 2,500 or 3,000 euros. वहाँ पे हार्ड जॉब्स की रिस्पेक्ट है. इट्स अ वायबल एंड अ बेटर करियर ऑप्शन. बहुत लोग लेते नहीं. तो आपकी बात सही है कि नौजवानों को दायरा बढ़ाना चाहिए. पर्टिकुलरली इवन द पेरेंट्स हैव टू थिंक, दिस जनरेशंस पेरेंट्स हैव टू थिंक दैट सिर्फ डॉक्टर इंजीनियर बनना ही आंसर नहीं है. देयर आर रियल करियर ऑप्शंस एंड बेटर करियर ऑप्शंस एंड मोर रिस्क फ्री करियर ऑप्शंस बाय टेकिंग हार्ड जॉब्स एंड हार्ड स्किल्स.
और हम तो एक कंट्री रहे हैं जहाँ पे which was known for its skills. It is somehow our colonial period where the focus shifted to making clerks, But otherwise, we have been a country of skilled professionals.
तो आपको लगता है कि इंडिया कैन अगेन बिकम द स्किल कैपिटल ऑफ द वर्ल्ड?
हाँ, मैं तो मेरा फर्म बिलीफ है इस बारे में. एंड व्हाट आई से इज कि मेरा तो बिल्कुल फर्वेंट अपील है थ्रू दिस चैनल कि यूथ को, बिकॉज इन मैनी ऑफ दीज जॉब्स आपको अननेसेसरीली एक ग्रेजुएशन करने की जरूरत नहीं है. You can get into many of these jobs if you're 10th pass or you're 12th pass. What an opportunity. If you early enough, if you can start a career, there's no substitute to that. So only if you're truly passionate about academics and you want to pursue an academic line, then you should definitely go for undergraduation or post-graduation. But if your pursuit of study is for jobs, I think many more job opportunities are opening up, which are and the whole world is your place.
Yes, yes. Coming back to truck drivers, right? Like you're saying, young people without degrees can take up jobs. In fact, in truck drivers, you don't need any degree. You need what you need, for example, for Europe, is a level of English कि आप basically अपना काम चला लो. You can speak in English and you can do your work done, get your work done. Plus, of course, driving skills. So what will be your message to youth who's actually shying away, saying truck driving is not a great career or socially disrespected? What will be your message to them who are listening today? And
मुझे तो ऐसा लगता है कि these are all questions of personal preferences, your personality profiles. These should determine what careers you should pursue, rather than कि मेरे पड़ोस वाले क्या बोलते हैं और मेरे अंकल क्या बोलते हैं. उसकी बजाय follow your passion. And there are youth today is very energetic, wants to take new risk. And मुझे तो ऐसा लगता है कि ट्रक ड्राइवर की जो लाइफ है, एवरी डे, बिकॉज मैं आता हूँ रेलवेज सेगमेंट से. मैं आई वर्क 25 years इन रेलवेज, और मैंने ट्रेन पायलट्स के साथ बहुत ट्रैवल किया है. द रोमांस ऑफ दैट travel when you are in the cab of a train and you are negotiating beautiful geography, that's an amazing feeling in itself. You get to see new areas, you get to meet new people. Very few careers offer you an opportunity. Your workplace is, every day you have a new place as your workplace. You meet new people, you meet new business challenges. And just imagine that when you are operating a truck, you are on your own, and every situation that you encounter, you have to deal with that situation on your own. Unlike a typical workplace जहाँ पे कोई manager है, you have colleagues and you have to negotiate all these things. It brings a true leadership qualities in you.
Yeah.
So अगर आपको अपनी life को में एक grow करना है, careers like this, if airline pilots, उनका career को हम respectable मानते हैं, तो why not the truck pilots? So मेरा ये मानना है कि, and only thing is, you can become a aircraft pilot after 12th. You can also become a truck pilot after 12th. But मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जो career opportunities जो trucking industries में हैं, वो far more exciting and challenging हैं.
Yes,
globally हैं. और my request to all the youth who might be watching this program at any point of time, give it a serious thought.
So 2.6 million drivers are needed globally. That means every country is short of drivers. So if I'm a young person, then I have a potential opportunity in every geography of the country. I can be in Europe, I can be in USA sometime, I can be in Australia. So I can choose. So there's a lot of like options available to go out as a truck driver, right? A lot of people don't know about this.
Why don't you talk about I think few months back when we were having a coffee together, you were telling about that migration corridor, that how the wage levels change when people...
So working through last year, I figured this very interesting phenomena that is happening, which is there is a migration corridor for truck drivers. If there is a truck driver in India, he will earn typically between 25 to 30,000 rupees a month, right? But then
25 से 30,000 रुपए
25 से
महीना
30,000
अगर वो हिंदुस्तान में
में
ड्राइवर
कमाता है,
Okay,
राइट?
हाँ.
लेकिन जब वो थोड़ा स्किल गेन करके लेट्स से मिडिल ईस्ट में कमा जाता है, दुबई में, सऊदी अरेबिया, ओमान, बहरीन में जाता है, तो उसको 50 to 70,000 रुपीज अ मंथ मिलते हैं.
50 to 70,000 रुपीज अ मंथ अगर आप हिंदुस्तान से गल्फ में चले जाएं.
यहाँ पे वो टाटा और अशोक लेलैंड की गाड़ी चलाता है जो टिपिकली रिजिड बॉडी होती है. जब वो दुबई में जाता है, व्हेन ही गोस टू दुबई, ही ड्राइव्स अ मर्सिडीज और स्कानिया और वॉल्वो, व्हिच इज एन ओल्डर वर्जन ऑफ मर्सिडीज और स्कानिया और वॉल्वो, जो यूरोप से आई होती है, बट इट्स स्टिल अ बेटर ट्रक, सेफर एनवायरनमेंट, लेफ्ट हैंड साइड ड्राइविंग, एंड ही अर्न्स 50 to 70,000 रुपीज. आप दुबई से, यूएई से, सऊदी से जब आप ईस्टर्न यूरोप में जाते हो काम करने,
तो
तब
कितने हजार किलोमीटर ट्रेवल किए?
तब आपने 2,000-3,000 किलोमीटर ट्रैवल किया और आपकी सैलरी 2 लाख रुपए महीना होगी. देन वंस द गाय गोज टू ईस्टर्न यूरोप, ड्राइवर, अगर उसके बाद वो वेस्टर्न यूरोप में जाए, जर्मनी में जाए, वहां पे लाइसेंस ले ले, तो जर्मनी अलाउ करता है आपको आने के लिए, राइट? सो गाइज हु गो देयर, हु गो टू पोलैंड और लिथुआनिया और लैटविया राइट नाउ, देन दे गेट द लाइसेंस देयर एंड देन गो टू जर्मनी. Germany pays even more. Your salary can go up to 3 lakh or 4 lakh rupees a month. This is net in hand after taxes.
So 15-20 times हो गया.
15-20 times, right? Germany और यूके में,
मेरे को तो ऐसा कोई करियर दिखाई नहीं देता.
जर्मनी और यूके में ये हो जाता है. उसके बाद लोग, अगर आप देखोगे यूएस और कनाडा में, दिस नंबर goes up to 6 to 8 lakhs a month, right? Then Australia, New Zealand is even higher. It goes up to 10 lakh rupees. So there's a migration corridor. We are seeing this a lot happening. India to Middle East, Middle East to Eastern Europe, Eastern Europe to Western Europe, Western Europe to Canada, US, and then probably Australia or New Zealand. So it's an endless career. जैसा कि हम बोलते हैं ना कि ट्रक ड्राइवर बन जाओगे तो you will have a ceiling to your career. No, that's not the case. You can continue to keep upskill yourself and continue to get a better wage and a better life. Right. Plus, I am also seeing truck drivers going into the jobs of dispatch managers, fleet managers. They are taking managerial jobs in Europe. That's also a big trend that's happening, right? Because you are anyway English speaking, you know the language, right? जब आप जाते हो, you also learn a bit more. So people are progressing in various ways. I personally think it's right now a very, very exciting career, right? I have been now working in this field for the last 10 years. I've worked with 25,000 drivers, probably in every state, every city, every district, drivers se kaam kiya hai. And I've seen their plight, and I can tell that is changing with more and more global opportunities emerging. It's an exciting career, and that will also benefit our country as India, because India का जो हम बोलते हैं कि इंडिया में ड्राइवर्स खुद नहीं है, वो भी एक कमी पूरी होती है, because when they go through this, they learn for a few years in India, तो इंडिया की डिमांड पूरी होती है, and then they can go out.
This is so powerful, and that's why I wanted you to talk about it, because when I heard this for the first time, I really felt very excited. But somehow this message does not reach to the general people. And I would request anybody who's listening to this conversation between me and Deepak, please take this message across to whosoever you meet. This is the biggest service you will be doing to the youth of the country, that if they can start thinking as a viable alternative, no career can give you a growth like this, where within a span of 5, 7, 8 years, you can have the opportunity to grow your salary by 15, 18 times. And plus, you have the opportunity to go around the world, experience new countries, new culture, new people. Very exciting.
I also want to share with the audience on what is already happening in the last 1 year. Which countries are hiring? कहाँ पे opportunities हैं? What are the wages? What is the life? Right? तो यूरोप में इस समय almost every country is hiring wage. Right? Only initially first 1 or 2 countries like Poland or Lithuania were hiring. The shortage is so high that now even Germany, Denmark, Netherlands, and these countries are changing their policies to hire drivers from India, right? And one of the things I'm seeing that with, like you also pointed out, कि रशिया यूक्रेन का जब वॉर खत्म होगा तो ज़्यादा रिक्वायरमेंट आएगी. ये भी एक लोगों के दिमाग में है that where will they get people from? So India can position itself really well. Indian youth can position themselves really well कि वहाँ जाके अच्छा करियर बना सकते हैं.
That's really very exciting. Key opportunities are opening up everywhere. But you have been interacting with these employers, and now let's talk about why a European employer should hire from India. So, what's your take? What are the few things that is on top of their mind when they want to hire an expatriate for a job in to operate their fleet in their own country?
So one of the heartening things I will tell you is that every employer loves hiring from India. This I've seen in the last 1 year. So the product itself sells.
Yes.
So that is what I can tell you to people who are listening, that you are being loved and in demand in Europe. It's like people want you there. You know, why is it happening? I'll tell you example of truck driver, right? When Indian truck drivers are going there, you know, they are more motivated and disciplined compared to people from other geographies. जैसा कि हम थोड़ा, you know, maybe you can also check with your son. Software engineers से बोलते हैं ना कि you know, जब इंडिया से सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर बाहर जाते हैं तो they work much better and harder. That's why US is probably more CEOs of, you know, big Fortune 500 companies, right? Because Indians do very, very well when they go out. So Indian drivers have done very well in the last 1 or 2 years there. So they think they are very good, very motivated, very disciplined. Indian drivers are not taking alcohol. This is also sense I'm saying. Third thing I see is यहाँ पे हम बोलते हैं कि इंडियन ड्राइवर फ्यूल पिलफेज करता है या he's in Europe that's not happening, right? वहाँ पे लोकल ड्राइवर्स हैं, वहाँ पे कंप्लेंट्स होंगी, बट इंडियन ड्राइवर्स के साथ नहीं है. सो एंड बिगेस्ट एडवांटेज व्हेन इंडियन ड्राइवर्स आर गोइंग देयर इज दे आर गोइंग विद एन इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज. Now when Europe is mixed languages, so an English language is preferred there because their local drivers sometimes are not able to, sometimes they speak only their local language and not English language. So there's that you know, European employers this समय they want to favor Indian drivers. They want to look at more and more India, but yes, they have expectations. They want people with good English. They want people with good driving skills. They want people with good integrity and, you know, aspiration. They want good motivation, right? They have the expectations because for them, each truck driver, the salary level is high. The productivity is also high. For a transport company, when they're looking at India, they want to make sure they're getting the right skills.
So for benefit of many employers from Europe who might be watching this webcast, this situation is there everywhere. For information of many people who might not be aware, and that India is not now the largest diaspora in the world. Largest number of Indian are working for employers overseas. China is number 2. India has become number 1. That would mean that you have a proof of concept that Indian workforce is professional, they are reliable, and they can work across geographies. They can negotiate various cultures. They can be cosmopolitan in their approach. There is not even one place anywhere in the world where Indian diaspora is seen as a problem.
Right.
Which may not be true for all communities. And what does that really mean is that for somebody who wants to look towards a profession like truck drivers, where they have to be continuously on move, now Indians are there everywhere. That means that there is a support system which exists, social support system which exists all across the world. There is a respect that societies have for Indians. So it's not only that your employer is going to respect, it's truly an Indian decade or next few decades belong to India, where the world really appreciates Indian talent. They want they want to experience Indian culture. And that is why I would once again, even at the cost of being repetitive, I want to take this opportunity to reinforce this message, that don't be guided by traditionally beaten down career advices. Be bold, be realistic, follow your passion, follow your heart, and There are opportunities everywhere in the world waiting for you. Uh, our partners like AnywhereJobs are truly creating those opportunities in areas like transportation and all that. NSDC is here to help you. And please go ahead, request to employers that you should look at India as your first preference for hiring your employees. And to youth of India and those who are already in this profession, that you should start thinking about how do you expand your choices.
Super. Should we shift gear to some of the challenges? We've
Yes.
spoken about opportunities. Let's talk about some of the challenges, right? From a candidate perspective or a truck driver perspective, right? What are the challenges you see from looking at it, right? What do I need to prepare myself on, and how can NSDC guide? And then I can also talk about how can Anywhere Jobs, participate in this whole thing.
So NSDC is today operating across sectors. So there are, and now I'd make this general appeal to anybody who's watching this, that any skill-based profession that you think is to your liking, you can connect with NSDC and we will work with you. Coming specifically to the segment where you are operating or your partners are operating in the truck driver category, I think first of all, it's a mindset issue that many a times our brethren who are in this field, they might think that it's too big a thing for me to think of even going to Europe. I don't know how to drive a left drive vehicle. The fleets are very different. The trucks are very large. The geographies are tough. Whether I'll be able to perform there or not. To that, I would say that, and the language, whether I would be able to learn the language that will help me in pursuing my career. I just want to say that we know these challenges very well, and we have been trying to build trusted pathways for every individual. So, working with NSDC, you can actually learn new languages. We will provide you counseling, which country, what sort of job, so that you have choices in front of you. You can make an informed decision. And we are also setting up the driving training institutes across the country, where and depending upon the demand from whichever part comes up, we can expedite those training centers where we can provide training on the left-handed vehicles. We will not be found wanting if a particular type of fleet is required for training. That will be also provided. So starting from language to the actual driving skills, all these areas, NSDC will be willing and will provide all assistance to you to pursue these careers.
I will also add to this, VG. What I've been seeing is that while young people have a lot of fear of going into a new geography with a truck driving job, I have realized that truck driving in Europe is actually not that hard. It's easier compared to driving in India. If you can drive in India, you can very well drive in Europe, because in Europe, people follow rules. There is more respect for safety and security. So it's easier. If you're a young person looking at a career in Europe, you should definitely look at getting your license, ensuring that your training is proper, and you have language skills, which is A2 or a B1 level language skill in English. That will make your transition into Europe much easier and faster. And like Veji said, there are a lot of opportunities today available to get yourself skilled, right? NSDC runs this program. It also has a lot of driving schools. In fact, Anywhere Jobs and NSDC have partnered together, and we are also doing Code 95 training now in Ajmer. We have also worked across many other schools where we are doing very specific Europe-based skilling. Anywhere Jobs has now opened 2 offices in Europe as well, one in Hungary and one in Latvia.
Oh, very well.
And we are actually ensuring we are helping drivers not just get training, but also the European license and the European training in all the safety norms and regulations, right? Which is not just building trust of drivers, but also of the employers, right? So there's a lot of work happening. There are a lot of people engaged in handholding this. So if you're a young person listening to this, you have to take the first step. Everything else, I think there's a path laid ahead of you to make sure you have a successful career in Europe.
So that really means that you are telling the employers in Europe that you can provide full solution for
Yes.
their fleet needs.
So,
And I just want to add here that many times the employers who are overseas have issues of credentials.
yes.
And I just want to tell both to the candidates and to the employers in Europe or any part in the world, NSDC does the credentialing for every attribute of a candidate: the identity, the skills, educational qualification, work experience. All these things are credentialed by NSDC, which is backed by Government of India. So you get the confidence that the promise that is made to you is actually credentialed by the trust of NSDC. So that is additional thing that I want to
No,
tell.
fabulous. What I hear from employers is couple of challenges, right? One, of course, India is a large country. Can we really trust all the documentation and the credentials that are coming out of India, right?
We will take the
So-
responsibility of every document that is presented to employers.
So
That's my promise to employers.
is this a digital plan?
We have digital. We also have on-ground teams in every part of the country. So digitally we can verify everything, and every driver partner who is going from India can have a wallet, Skill India wallet. In that wallet, it's a digital wallet. We will secure all the documents relevant for that driver. So these will be accessible to employers on their mobile phones. So that's what the system we are building.
I think this will go a long way in building credibility and trust with employers. Talking more about employers, right? Now, employers sometimes find it easier to hire from other countries than India. So what else can the Indian government do? What can India do in terms of ensuring that employers have more trust and credibility on India?
I think domain specific you will know better, but as far as this as a Skill India International narrative, what I would like to say is that please come to us from NSDC International side. We will provide all support to you in terms of running campaigns for attracting drivers. If you are looking for diversity, we can also work on diversity side because we run a nationwide campaign programs.
I think just on diversity, I want to add this point, right? Recently, as you know, we did this hiring drive for women drivers.
Yeah, I know.
From India. That was a very
It was a very proud moment for me as well.
proud moment for all of us. It was a very special project. I personally never thought that we could have Indian women driving in Europe.
And मेरा बिल्कुल पर्सनलाइज्ड रिक्वेस्ट है देश की सारी बेटियों से कि आप सब लोग अपनी जिंदगी में कभी पीछे मत रहो. आपके पास यूरोप में जाके यूरोप के लार्जेस्ट फ्लीट्स को ऑपरेट करने की अपॉर्चुनिटी है.
There are 20 women right now who are already driving in Europe, and additional 20 women who are in the pipeline, waiting to go into Europe. So it's an exceptional project. Glad we could all come together to deliver that. And there's a huge opportunity. Diversity is a big thing in Europe. Most companies, transport companies, want to follow UN SDG 5 gender equality norms. So there's a Trucking for Equality project some of our clients are running, where they want to have 50% women drivers. And it's an exceptional thing. We want to have more and more women learning driving, and also making sure that they are going into Europe, right? So thank you for bringing in the diversity point. I think India can offer a lot of course, diversity.
We have also started Core 95 training, and you mentioned Core 95, and just for the benefit of the viewers here, Core 95 is a code, it's a standard for licensing in Europe and other parts of the world, I believe so.
In Europe.
So we can have Core 95 training also in India. Uh, we have partnered with IRU, so who you can get IRU certificate in India. But any other thing that you think
Yes.
the
So
government can help?
yes, there are few things, right? One of the things is I see many countries have bilateral agreements
Okay.
with countries of Europe for certain skills. Now, can India have a bilateral agreement with certain countries for truck drivers? Right? Is one idea which I think I would leave on the table, where then it can the documentation, the licensing, the visa process can be facilitated faster. I see Nepal and Philippines, for example, have this bilateral corridor approach. In Europe with a few countries. Second thing I would say, uh, can India be part of the Vienna Convention? Right, we are part of Geneva Convention 1949. Vienna Convention 1968 is the latest convention. If you're part of that convention, then automatically our recognition of our driving license becomes easier. Then the load of training also goes down a bit, and we can our drivers can be more accepted in some parts. Right, that's also not a very hard one. It can potentially happen. Uh, I think there are few other things I can say which is already happening. If we can have more left-hand driving, more simulators, more AR/VR based training. I think one of the things I recently came across, VG, was this whole this Galaxy AI phone, which was doing live translation on calls.
Okay.
It was very interesting that you could call someone and the person will listen in a language which he or she is comfortable in, right? So it struck me that you know if our drivers go there and they have to interact with dispatch officers, the bar of English language can also probably go down if regional Indian languages were, we could build technology tools like that, right? So there's a lot of opportunity we can do. India is known as a technology first nation now, a digital first nation, with a very progressive government, with a very progressive leadership all across institutions. So there's a bunch of things we could probably do to build more credibility and have a more faster corridor for our drivers into Europe.
Yeah. Just for your information, NSDC has a SIDH platform, Skill India Digital Hub. I would highly recommend that employers and candidates can visit that platform, and we can start training programs there for this profession also. For SIDH, we have also partnered with Bhashini, which is Ministry of Information Technologies effort in the AI for natural language processing. So we can bring Bhashini's capabilities into Skill India Digital Hub. So that will take care of a lot of the language issues. AR, VR based training, simulator based training, we are all, these are all very good suggestions. And you know that we are already working on this. AR, VR, probably we have not started, but it's a good idea. We'll definitely start that. But simulators, we are bringing in at many places. So simulator will not be a problem. As far as the joining Vienna Convention is concerned, I will definitely make a reference to the relevant authorities so that it can be immediately taken care of. And the other suggestion also that we will definitely take care.
With all the initiatives that are happening over the last 10 years, I'm very confident that under your leadership, many such more initiatives will be taken care of, and we will very soon see even a higher level of engagement between youth of the country and the employers of Europe. And thank you for leading NSDC into building a credible pathway and a platform where employers and youth of the country can come together and build trust and credibility into achieving their global aspirations.
So I just forgot one part that you mentioned in the previous sentence. I want to cover that. You mentioned about the bilateral agreements between India and the other countries. Just for your information, Ministry of External Affairs and Ministry of Commerce both are aggressively pursuing the opportunity for services export and the mobility for Indians. We are talking to many countries across the world. I will have to just see whether the trucking as a mention is there or not, but definitely we are having bilateral agreements on skill-based mobility in many countries in the world. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, Deepak, and true success of this will be that if from days to come, uh, everybody starts seeing this as a viable career option and a true opportunity for youth of this country, that would be the biggest satisfaction for all of us. And I think that our conversation, even if it adds a little bit to this, we should be very happy people.
Thank you, Vedji. Thank you so much for spending the time today and giving guidance to all our young viewers who are looking for opportunities outside, but also telling employers about all the initiatives you're undertaking. To our viewers and listeners here, I hope you enjoyed the session today with Vedji. Please do share this session widely with people who may want to benefit from this, from learnings and insights into this. And you have any question and answer, please do write in the comments. Our team and NSDC team will take care of those questions and will engage with you. We want to support every young person who wants to have an aspiration to explore outside and build a dream career. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for listening in.
Thank you so much.